We're going to do a little bit of a mashup today, combine both Learn, Think, Act with the podcast. For the first 3 minutes, we'll focus on the video that'll be connected to the Learn, Think, Act, which is our newsletter. And then the remainder of it, we'll go into more detail. We'll kind of build out and share some specific stories around how I apply this idea. The area that we're going to focus on this week is addressing a challenge that many of us have with meetings. Have you ever been in one of those meetings where you're like, wow, this really could have been an email, or feel like you've wasted a lot of time because you happen to be in the wrong meeting, or feel like the person who's leading the meeting is not super interested in your feedback, your contribution. They act like they're interested in it, but really they're more interested in sharing their perspective. Let's go ahead and solve for that using the idea of a jobs to be done framework when thinking about meetings. And if you're not watching the video of this, go take a look at YouTube and see the video, or sign up for Learn, Think, Act and you'll see the video component. What I want to start with is the idea of a jobs to be done framework. What's the specific job to be done of the meeting that we're engaged in? Well, there are three distinct jobs to be done from my perspective in a meeting. Number one is let's make a decision. So we're going to make a decision. That would be the first job to be done of a meeting. Is the meeting that we're holding a decision-making meeting? If so, let's make sure we're sharing information in advance and then also sharing the criteria that we're going to use to make the decision. The second type of meeting, that's meeting one. Meeting type number two is one where we're going to convey information and expect there to be some questions that come up as a result. So convey information and expect some kind of Q&A. So a decision-making meeting, number one, a convey information, deliver information meeting, number two. These are the meetings where typically someone might say that really could have been an email. If it could have been an email and you're not expecting some questions, then make it an email and don't waste people's time in this type of meeting. And the third type of meeting is a collaborative meeting. This is one of those meetings where we need to take advantage of the collective intelligence of the entire group. We need their perspective. We want to share information. We want to work together as a team to either solve a problem, design for a solution, or align on strategy and tactics. So those are the three types of meetings that I believe exist out there based on my experience in leading both small teams, large teams, and teams of teams, conducting one-on-ones, conducting group meetings. If you were to boil them down, even thinking about meetings with customers, if you were boiling them down into three different types of meetings, we're either making a decision, we're conveying information, or we're collaborating. Making a decision, conveying information, or collaborating. Three different types. So what I want you to do this week is take a look at each of the meetings that you're in and just make a note. Was this a decision-making meeting? Was it a meeting where information was conveyed and there were questions that were supposed to be asked? Or was it a collaborative meeting? Biggest mistake that people make when leading meetings like this, they make the mistake of trying to combine all three into one. Don't do it. You're wasting your team's time. You're going to struggle. You're going to end up spending more time kind of task switching from thing to thing. Don't do it. Shorten up your meetings. Focus either on decision making, conveying information, or having a collaborative meeting. So assess your meetings over the course of the next week. If you'd like to see an assessment tool, we'll include it in the Learn, Think, Act. Assess those meetings over the course of the next week. Give yourself some check marks associated with what type of meeting that you're involved in. Also note, are you the one leading the meeting or are you a participant in that meeting? We're first going to assess. Then the thing that I want you to do the week after next is start thinking about, of these meetings, which ones can you combine, which ones can you eliminate, and which ones can you specialize in? So this is the end of the Learn, Think, Act piece. If you want to subscribe to Learn, Think, Act, just head to findmycatalyst.com.